Rolling into Christmas is the kind of holiday movie which uses Christmas in order to like grab people's attention, but really has very little to do with the holiday. So to summarize the film, it has been 15 years since Deja's mom Celeste died, and since then she's pretty much lived with her dad Joe, who, due to his work in the military, has bounced around from base to base all around the world. And because of becoming acclimated to this, Deja is now creating a certain type of industry where she's helping people her age and younger get into traveling and stuff like that. Now, despite her apparent love for travel and being a nomad, this hasn't meant that she's gone back home pretty much at all. She keeps in contact with her cousin Cece, and I would say probably through Cece, that's the main way she keeps in contact with her grandma, but as for actually being part of their lives and really active in it, not so much. Now, it should be noted that one of the things that she left behind is not just her grandma and her cousin, but also a boy named Ian who, before she left, was supposed to be her potential first boyfriend. But now in present day, she doesn't really have much ties to Ian. She's dating this man named Pierce who is very business minded, and Ian, he's dating or seeing this woman who skates like Celeste, Deja's mom, taught him to. And it's not really clear whether or not she wants a relationship with him or she just wants a social media following that he's building, even though his main job is working as an accountant at his dad's firm. But when Deja's grandma gets sick, that leads to her finally coming back home, and even after being separated for so long, Deja and Ian find themselves having a little bit of a spark. And even though they're both in this place where Deja's pretty much in a relationship and Ian's in a situation, is in a situationship, it's hard for either one to ignore what they still feel after 15 years. And because of that, it's hard to say whether or not they're going to pick up where they left off or if they're going to respect what's going on in their personal lives currently and then either just try to be friends or just separate and act like they don't still have something between them. So in terms of highlights, I would say the first half hour or so is the best part of this movie, when it's just focused on Deja reconnecting with her family, dealing with the trauma of losing her mom, alongside Cece's fear of what could happen to Grams because her grandmother is who raised her after her parents abandoned her. At that point in the movie, that first half hour or so, the film is top notch. I was in my emotions, I was tearing up a bit, and I was ready for the ride. However, all the potential depth that this film could have gone into is pushed aside as Deja finds herself in relationship drama between Ian, Pierce, and Ian's situationship partner, Leilani. And that's what leads to the low points. Leilani and Pierce's insecurities pretty much ruin the movie. Like most characters who are made to be obstacles to the potential relationship the leads can have, Leilani and Pierce are made to be characters you hate. There's no nuance, there's no layers, there's very little in the way of responsibility put onto the leads in terms of what they are triggering in these would-be villains, and instead the insecurities and jealousies are all damned and made to make these two characters who, based off of Pierce's accomplishments and what Leilani's doing, all you can see is just villainy. But again, in terms of responsibility put on to the leads, it's never put into play that, hey, aren't you technically cheating right now? Because now what they want you to focus on is how bad their current relationship is compared to the relationship they could have with this person who is supposed to be so much better. So for the on the fence topic, the problem that we have is that Deja and Ian are much cuter as teens and as adults. I would say, like Love and Basketball, in my opinion. Because we spend a little bit too much time in the past, you get attached to that version of the characters. So then you have to kind of spend the rest of the movie dealing with this time jump and this kind of a rough transition from taking these two people as kids and then try to transition all those feelings that you had for the kids getting together and being happy and now bring it over to the adults. And for me, while the kids are cute together, there's nothing really cute about Ian and Deja at present times. I mean, setting aside that Deja's definitely cutting around cheating on Pierce, and Ian's in this weird situationship that he probably should have resolved before he even started to look Deja's way. They are different people as adults, and while you can see some reminders of their former dynamic, it just isn't the same. And I would even say they're in very different places in life, so as much as the nostalgia shows you that there is some kind of chemistry there, at the same time, it feels like they don't put in the effort. And when I say they, you could say the writers, actors, something just doesn't feel right. So that expectation that clearly you're supposed to have of them being together in the end, and the people behind the movie having that expectation for you to root for them, it doesn't really hit. It doesn't really come about. So you're okay with them getting together, potentially, but are you like excited about it? Absolutely not. Overall, the problem with Rolling Into Christmas is that because it wants to have the same type of romantic drama that so many Christmas and holidays movies have, it avoids the most interesting kind of drama it could explore in terms of family dynamics. It avoids all that Deja missed out on because she was a nomad and kind of, I won't say she's sworn off family, but she definitely kind of closed herself off. And then when it comes to Cece, who was abandoned by her parents, and Graham is, kind of pushing back on all she needs to do for rehab so that her heart condition can get better. It's just so much that is avoided that could have made this movie feel unique in some way, all for the same old relationship drama that we get year after year, movie after movie, where you're kind of questioning, hey, are these two people technically cheating, or should we just set that aside because they seem happier with this new person? Or in this case, this person that they knew a long time ago that they haven't seen in years.